Hi guys, it's Hani here, and today I'm super excited to be sharing this project with you. We're going to make Pinata birthday cake cookies. First, I'm going to show you how to make royal icing sunflowers. If you don't have a leaf tip, you can also make a V-shaped opening on your piping bag, and it's going to act like a leaf tip. And I'm using yellow royal icing. This icing is on a stiffer side. You know, when I use icing that is overly stiff, but it shouldn't be runny. It should be thick enough so it holds its shape. We're also going to use templates. These you can find in my template shop. And I'm going to use a flower nail. I'm taping a piece of double-sided tape onto the flower nail and securing the template, and again another piece of tape on top of the template to secure a piece of parchment square. If you don't have a parchment square, you can also use a piece of wax paper. Now, depending on the size of the flowers that you need, you can use a larger template. I'm using a small template because I didn't want my flowers to be too big. You can do one set of petals, or you can also do another set on the inside, like I'm doing here. And basically, when you're piping these petals, they are essentially small leaves. You want to increase the pressure as you're piping, and then decrease it as you are finishing the leaves. So pressure, pressure, release, and pull away. Pressure, pressure, release, pull away. You can make these ahead of time, and when I say ahead of time, you can make royal icing decorations weeks, months, and sometimes even years in advance. Although I find that after a couple years they fade a little. And you can store these in an airtight container with, I like to store them with a piece of food grade silica packets, but you don't have to, and mainly store them away from direct sunlight and direct moisture. Sunlight will fade the color, and moisture, obviously this is all sugar, it's going to dissolve your decorations. For the center, I'm using brown royal icing that is about 20 to 25 second consistency. Let them dry overnight, and then you can remove them from the parchment. Look how pretty. And like I said, store these away from direct sunlight and mainly moisture, because that will dissolve the sugar. And then you can use them to decorate the cookies. To make the piñata cookie, I'm using round cookies, and we're going to use 4 cookies with a cutout in the middle. That's going to be the cavity that we're going to fill with, well, you can fill it with anything you'd like. I'm gonna use some cookies that I made. So first I'm going to assemble the piñata part, the cavity. So I'm gluing the bottom cookie on a piece of parchment. This is just so the cookie is not sliding anywhere when I'm assembling it. So we have 4 cookies with a cutout, and to glue these I'm just using royal icing, and this icing is colored with some ivory food coloring, and on the top I'm going to glue 1 full round like so. I'm going to let this dry for about an hour or 2, and then we can decorate the sides. I'm going to use pink royal icing, my favorite, to create an ombre design. So I'm starting with the deepest pink on the bottom, and then I'm going to add medium pink and then light pink, and we're gonna finish with white royal icing. This icing is on a thicker side. You can see it's not fluid, it's not sliding down the sides. So you don't want to use icing that is 15-second consistency. You want to use icing that is thicker than that. And also ice the top. And I'm going to smooth this with a small, this is actually a palette knife that you often see decorators use in cookie decorating, and now even in cake decorating. I'm going to smooth it. I don't want to have a thick layer of icing on here. I just want a thin layer with an ombre design on the sides. So you want to smooth it and scrape off excess. You can use, like I said, palette knife or a small spatula. Don't waste the icing. I'm actually putting all of this icing into an extra bowl because I can mix it and use it for another project. And then we are going to finish our piñata birthday cake. So once it dries, you can remove it from the parchment, and I noticed that the bottom edge was a bit uneven, so I'm scraping that off, shaving that off with zester. This is actually a chocolate zester that I used, and I'm gonna fill my piñata with some delicious coffee bean cookies. You can also use, I personally really like gummy candies. And then I'm gonna seal it with another cookie. This is basically a cake board, and I used a really nice scalloped edge cookie cutter to make the cookies. You can see they are thinner than my 1/4 inch cookies that I used to make the piñata. Now I'm gonna seal the gap between the piñata and the bottom cookie with a beaded border. I'm using ivory colored royal icing and a piping tip number 2. You can also use number 3 if you wish. And we're going to color the beaded border, or paint the beaded border, with gold edible paint. When painting with gold, it's recommended that you use darker royal icing, like ivory or brown icing, as for the base. It's going to help with the coverage with the gold paint. So you have to let that dry for an hour or so. And then to paint, I'm using ready to use Glamorous Gold metallic edible paint by Sweet Sticks. Alright, so this is almost done, and we're going to decorate the top and the sides. So to decorate the top, I'm just going to spread a thin layer of royal icing just on the edge here with my food only paintbrush, and we're going to add some sprinkles and pearls. And then we're also going to use those beautiful sunflowers that we made earlier. Alright, so now I'm adding some gold. These are nonpareils, shimmering nonpareils. And I also have some large pearls, also in gold. I actually made this piñata birthday cookie for my friend Marlon of Montreal Confections during one of our live streams last year. And now to attach the sunflowers, I'm starting with the leaves here, and then adding a sunflower, or you can do a sunflower and then add the leaves. Notice I'm using a piping tip. This is a standard 352 piping tip. It's a leaf tip. And then also one sunflower on the edge here. Add more leaves. And if you'd like, you can also add a candle. Now, ideally you want to do this before you assemble the piñata. You want to make a hole in the cookie before. I forgot, so I'm using my scribe, grinding through the cookie and then inserting a candle holder and then a candle. I think these turned out so cute. They could be used not only for birthday parties but also for a wedding or Mother's Day. And I can hear you asking, how do you eat a piñata cookie? Now, you can either use your hands to separate the layers, or you can use a knife, or if you really want to have fun with it, you can use a rolling pin to break it apart. And that's how you can break apart a piñata cookie with a rolling pin. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think in a comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified about my new uploads. And I will see you next time. Bye guys!